All right, welcome in. It's the Divisional Round Swolecast here on rotogrinders.com. We've got a sick 4-game slate. I mean, I was looking at it and actually, this is a pretty sick 4-game slate. So we're going to talk about these games. We're going to talk about Tuttle's really, he's on a pretty sick 2-week run himself. So we'll talk about that. We'll discuss everything and more here on the Swolecast on rotogrinders.com.
You Davis Mattek from the Swolecast? I was like, yep, that's me.
I just want you guys to know I'm total dust. I'm the problem.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Leave it to the guy with the crypto dunes, Abby, to not understand context.
I should have known you getting 30 likes was directly written by someone else.
You know me, I don't do a ton of research before the show.
I've put no research into this. Don't know if it's true at all.
You're on the right show.
To it, bro. Live a little.
Live a little.
Just live a little, guys.
All right, welcome in. David Kitchen here. Listen, if my internet goes out, it's because we have 8 inches of snow. And it is just snowmageddon here. And I'll let the other 3 take it from here. But we've got Pete, Davis Mattek, and our own Mr. Tuttle 05, Dan Gaspar on the show. Tuttle, why are you wearing the Draft Street jersey?
Yeah, so I was going to try to do the Fantasy Bros thing for this week. And I started out with the jersey and then just kind of lost steam. I didn't have props for I was going to do backwards hat and do that whole
You didn't have a hat to turn backwards?
He was going to try and be like one of these guys who talks about the fact that he made a Fantasy Aces final in 2013. He was going to be like, I've been winning since been winning, I am the winner in the industry.
Okay. This is more depressing than exciting. I remember this jersey being huge on me when I first got it 10 years ago or whatever. And now it's snug. So this is more of a depressing turn of events than
it's like a dryer problem.
No, it's because you got swole, dude.
That's true too.
There you go. All right, Pete, how's it going?
It's going good. Yeah, pretty sick slate, man. Ready to dive in. But I am excited to do Overzet's overview as well. It's documenting the rise of Tuttle that you kind of hinted at theirs too. So let me know when it's my turn here. Okay. To let the people know what transpired.
It's really quick. Get to Davis. He's wearing the Chiefs shirt, and his Cowboys lost, so he's just on the Chiefs train now. So Davis, how are you?
It was actually an amazing experience to watch the Cowboys lose that game and be texting my dad, and my dad is having the worst day. He's like, I can't believe this shit. I thought we were gonna win. This was the year, and I'm just like, this was child abuse, man, that you raised me in this environment, that you were like, this is the team that you're going to, and so I'm very happy that I removed myself from that. Although, I am already dreading this game on Sunday against Chess Liam's Buffalo Bills. I don't feel good about it. Sky Moore got activated off of the designated for return IR. That doesn't make me feel particularly good about the Kansas City Chiefs chance. It just, I'm already sick. I'm not feeling like it's going to be that great, to be honest.
Davis, is it true that you commissioned Kristen Juszczyk to make you a Cowboys Chiefs jersey jacket?
Yeah, it's Dak and Mahomes' jersey
combined. I love that. I wonder if she would do a Swolecast jersey.
Yeah, I'm sure she doesn't have much work on her plate right now.
Probably too famous now. A week ago, we probably could have gotten whatever, but she's too famous now.
Remember when Kitchen got us those
Instagram followers in the past 4 days? I saw.
Wow.
Remember when Kitchen got us those Swolecast shirts that rubbed off after a week? Davis, I'm talking. Yeah. Right? I had a good joke, and it just can't get him across.
I do. It wasn't me. Is someone reached out and did it, said, "Hey, I want to do your merch for you," and sent us some samples, and then all of the letters eventually started peeling off.
It wasn't eventually. It was like after a week of use. It wasn't. This wasn't like I've worn this like 20 times type of thing. It was not great.
The best part is I never shipped Silva his. So after my letters wore off, I just wore his. So, all right. I know that some people just woke up pissed off about this show. So that just means that good stuff's going to happen. And with that being said, we got a big slate to talk about. So let Pete take it away with the Overzet's overview.
Got that dog in her butt. Got that dog in her butt. Overzet overview. Come on.
All right. So a lot of you guys are kind of familiar with what transpired here, but I wanted to put it all in one cohesive story for those who aren't familiar. But we basically entered a new era of the Swolecast. Last week, after Kitchen finally let the Indian guy talk, Tuttle has since emerged as the alpha on the show. It's a role we haven't seen on the Swolecast since Evan Silva left to write an increasingly abbreviated matchups column for ETR. I think it's just a change log now. Anyways, not only did Tuttle dominate the airwaves on last week's wildcard round show, bullying me and Davis off the mic repeatedly, he also became a main character on the site that Elon built. Tuttle, of course, went viral on Monday with a tweet about Trey Palmer. Yes, our very own Dan Gaspar, a man of ambiguous descent, went deep in the lab comparing Trey Palmer box scores with tweets where he said he woke up, quote unquote, pissed off. And Dan found a nearly direct correlation between being pissed off tweets and scoring TDs. And spoiler, Trey Palmer famously did score on Monday Night Football versus the Eagles. But sadly, guys, this story does not have a happy ending. Nope. The Twitter account FF Gator stole Tuttle's tweet, made it less accurate, and went viral, stolen valor style. The NFL account, guys, the main NFL account with 34.5 million followers, posted a photo of not Tuttle's tweet, but Gator's tweet. Yeah. It should have been Tuttle's tweet, which should have been Mangone's tweet. Anyways, guys, this was our chance. The road to 10K was about to be paved in Tuttle gold. And instead, we were cucked by FF Gator. And sure, he since offered a public apology. It got 4 likes. No one saw it. He pinned the initial tweet, which really begs the question just how sorry he really is. The damage is done. Tuttle is back to being the token Indian guy on a minimally watched show that is so vaguely about DFS that it forever begs the question why we are still allowed to do it every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you.
I had 2 viral tweets already this year, and I didn't pimp the Swolecast after either of them. So I guess that's on me.
Yeah, Davis had the really good Belichick one.
I had that one, and then I had a good Mason Rudolph one, but I feel too embarrassed after a viral tweet to be like, check out my podcast underneath. But maybe honestly,
that's where the line came in, huh?
Well, it's cool. It's cool to pretend that you're a cool guy that just says viral things all the time. You're like, 3 million view tweet, sure, it's more fun. It's more fun to pretend that way.
Yeah.
Davis, this would be like the 4th podcast you'd plug. First it would be the Takecast, then it'd be the Takecast Patreon starring Brick 75's Libertarian Takes. Then it would be the Sports Grid show.
On one this week. I almost didn't post it. behind the paywall. This would be number 4.
Yeah,
Who was number 3?
Sports Grid Football Podcast.
Oh my gosh. Unreal. We don't need you. Tuttle, how many likes did the FF Gator tweet get?
I don't know. I haven't checked. He was lapping me. I think before NFL even picked it up. Honestly, this is more of an indictment on NFL social media intern than like FF Gator. in my mind, and this is basically how he described it. In my mind, this guy saw the tweet in the morning. Palmer happened. He was excited. He sent out a tweet about it when it happened or right after it happened. That tweet caught fire, and it is what it is. Like I don't think there was any ill intent from that fella. But the other,
no, but it is a lesson in how social media works. Like your tweet was more nuanced. It had the caveats.
Yes,
it offered
100%.
like the actual thing that happened. And
brief.
his was like, every time he wakes up pissed off, he scores. All caps, no joke. That's what goes viral. And,
why
like,
can't I find the FF Gator account? What is it? FF_Gator? It's just FF Gator.
Let me see.
I saw that he follows me on Twitter, but
is it
I blocked him
the FF Gator?
We're just getting him even more free advertisement than from what the NFL 34 5 point.
It's the FF Gator.
Yeah, the FF Gator. I mean, he seems like a
865 retweets. I mean, come on, like you live to fight another day. You'll be back, Dan.
No, he got 18K likes.
That's likes.
Solid.
Yeah,
that's solid.
For Dan, that's solid.
Five likes on the New York Times correction that nobody saw.
Here's the thing: Sosa.
Five favorites on the apologies is literally.
Yeah, that does hurt.
That is one of the greatest bits of all time.
Sosa needs to bring up his own tweet. He came hard at FF Gator.
Oh, let's see it. I want to see Sosa.
He came hard. I was like, all right, Sosa, back the dogs.
I
off.
would have. That's like when you have to like overreact so that whoever the other person's like, they will like calm down because they're like, oh,
you have to define the relationship. You have to DTR you and the tweet stealer.
But Tuttle saying if you want the original tweet that the FF Gator stole from, that's pretty.
That was spicy.
I don't know.
That is spicy.
He said in one of the tweets that he 100% stole it from me. So I felt like it was okay to use the word stole without being like too heavy-handed. So let's see your tweets here. You're cooked.
Is this the bad one?
No, I thought there was another one.
At NFL, you're cooked.
You're cooked.
You're cooked.
But yeah, he's threatening to cook that NFL. So that was good.
Oh, chat makes a very good point. AJ Hawk, he would never send a viral tweet about Trey Palmer waking up pissed off.
Yeah. And I do not want to be like the FF Gator. I do want to give props to Travis Mangone, XRG, now with Run Pure Sports. He's the guy. He sent out a tweet about this early in the morning.
He did.
But you're the one who researched.
Yeah, I dug into it.
You did the heavy lifting. He just like,
I thought
there's gold over there. Right. There's gold over there.
There's gold in them hills. That's actually how every good tweet I've ever had. It's been like someone said something kind of pithy in a Discord, and I was like, I could kind of tune that up. I could put the secret sauce on it, and that's a good tweet.
Yeah, I was really close to stealing one earlier in the week. I don't know if you saw my tweet about the esports plus football props that like Underdog and them have.
Yeah.
And like one of the things was like it was Pat Fryermuth and Patrick 6+ kills or receptions. And then someone tweeted at me. It was like, man, imagine going into Monday's game and Pat Fryermuth needing to kill 2 people. And I thought that was like a really, really clever tweet that I was pretty tempted to steal, but I did not.
That is a pretty good bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, are we going to talk about football at all? Like at any point, or are we going to touch on?
I thought we were having a good conversation. Why are you trying to derail us with football?
I was just going to say that I have probably my most famous tweet, my Antonio Brown tweet with the guy with the ice cream.
Yes, that was good. The Indian guy, right?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Sensing a theme here, David.
Sir Ian Harditz tried to copy it and quickly got shut down. Not by me, but by some followers. And so he's like, sorry. And he hasn't copied one of my tweets ever since then. But
not much to copy, Dave.
Thank you. So let's get on to this slate of games. Because it is sick if you look at it.
Dave, I will Venmo you $5 right now if you can accurately say, without looking at any website, if you can name one of the spreads of the 4 games that are being played.
Eyes up here. Eyes at the camera.
Is it like 9.5 or 10.5?
For which one?
For which one?
San Fran and Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm not giving you any credit because 9.5 and 10.5 are very different.
10's a key number, Dave, so you're going to have to make a stand on one of these.
9.5.
All right, I'm not actually sending you $5, but I am proud of you.
Don't welch on that, dude.
He'll send you one of his friends, crypto friends.
We could do this would be a good bit. This would be a good bit for us to do at some point, but we could do the cousin Sal, Bill Simmons guess the line, but we do it with David on a Friday. You know, Dave just like being like, wait, all right, who's playing? The Titans are favored? What?
So those who are unfamiliar with David, back in the old Fantasy Insiders days, he would hire a virtual assistant to actually compile relevant information like betting spreads and things like that, so that he could have a sheet to go off of for the show.
A cheat sheet. That's like it was basically a assistant producer.
Why don't you still have that?
I know, right?
Yeah, does DB not
really
have room
help
in the
this
budget?
show?
Well, now everything can be found in Lineup HQ, which is part of the premium package there on rotogrinders.com. So if you go there,
David is always there on Sim Labs. Like I try and get something from David. I'm like, hey, David, what's going on? He's like, dude, I'm too deep in Sim Labs right now, brother. I've just been simming these slates out. Everyone, I'm paying David his $5 on Venmo right now.
Sim Labs,
love to see it.
Is rolling out NBA. So it's currently in beta, but we're on NBA. Thank you, Davis. All right. Let's get on this 4-game slate.
Can you buy a Blizzard for $5 these days?
No.
How much does a Blizzard
chance.
cost?
Not in Biden's America, brother.
No, but I don't even need a Blizzard with this snow cream that we've been cooking up.
Okay, that's disgusting.
No, come on. Snow,
that is disgusting.
Don't turn your nose up at evaporated milk and sugar, brother.
Bro, no, he takes snow from outside and uses it.
You put a bowl. No, it is not.
This is disgusting. Pete,
what is I'm not familiar with this. What's going on right now?
You go outside, you put some snow in a bowl, and you put evaporated milk and sugar on it, and you stir it up and you eat it.
You stir it up. It's like ice. It's like homemade ice cream. You put out like a clean bowl regularly? We don't get snow regularly, but you put a bowl out on the table, the snow falls in it, so it's clean as the driven snow. And then you do.
Well, driven snow is not clean. So
yeah, this is disgusting.
That's an old school expression, Davis.
We've had this conversation before when I first heard that David did this, and I saw a TikTok 2 days ago about somebody doing this, and I actually liked the tweet because I was like, "We're gonna try this with the kid, Davis." I'm talking here. I was like, "We're gonna try this with the kids. They're gonna like it. This is gonna be like a fun little event." And then my mind can get over the fact that we're just eating outside snow. That's just not gonna happen.
I mean, it's probably fine, right?
It's probably fine, and it's probably fine to like put a little snow in your mouth when you're outside playing, but like to just like sit there and like scoop snow from the outside in your mouth, that's a different story.
Yeah.
All right. Tuttle, we'll be getting to your snow cream play of the day later, but let's talk about this 4-game slate. We got Houston and Baltimore, Green Bay and San Fran. On Saturday, kind of like I don't know. I'm looking forward more to the Sunday games, Tampa Bay and Detroit, Kansas City and Buffalo, way more than the Saturday games. I'm guessing, Tuttle, you're really looking forward to that Green Bay San Francisco matchup like you went to way back in the day.
That was brutal. I've only been to 2 Lambeau games in my life, and one was Colin Kaepernick running all over us in negative 30-degree weather.
And the coldest ever NFL game was Tuttle's first.
I wasn't
first
like,
game.
To be fair, I wasn't like cold. Like it was fine. I told Davis this. I still think Davis should have went to the Kansas City game just for the bit, like bid equity. I think the
it's not a fun bit. I had friends who went and they said they still feel bad. They still feel like physically not right. Like
they just
right
didn't
now.
They didn't dress right then. But I mean, you just threw.
We only
like,
went
you
to
see
the
guys in Buffalo.
the
guys in Buffalo know what they're doing.
The Bills game, it was 30 degrees outside at the Bills
that one was
game.
better, but they would have been fine Saturday night. They throw their Carhartt on, they're ready to go. Like if you layer up, it's no big deal.
Okay, there's Tuttle. There is a big difference between 0 degrees, 5 degrees, and negative 35-degree real field.
Yeah, you're talking to somebody who was there.
Delta between those two.
Yeah,
I can't really tell Tuttle that because he actually went to the coldest.
I'm not even, to be honest, I wouldn't be that interested in going to a divisional or a wild card round game against Tua anyway, if the tickets were free and it was 70 degrees outside. Like,
well, that's the thing. I think it's different. I don't like to go to games actually, but if there was some bid equity there, I think I would like it.
What is the bid equity? What is my
that you're actually a tough guy,
like the kid from the Christmas Story posting a photo.
You would have gotten a lot of social engagements, but it's a good story.
Come on, guys,
people, right? Like you're not telling people about the 70-degree weather game you went to when you were 30 or whatever.
Going to sporting events just in general sucks. Like, let's just be honest about it. It just does. It's just not that fun.
Well, football's the worst one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even a hockey guy, and hockey is by far the most fun sport to go watch live.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just ease of getting in and out and everything. Like football, it's an hour and a half minimum to get in, hour and a half minimum to get out. And then you add in that hour and a half in and out in negative 35-degree wind chill. Like, just no, thank you.
All right. People, I mean, they're asking if we're going to talk actual football. I guess we are talking kind of football.
All right. Well, let's start here. Tuttle. I am a sick fish. I just am reacting to the thing that I just saw most recently. I'm pretty convinced Jordan Love is like the 8th best quarterback in the NFL. How does that make you feel? Are you feeling optimistic about a Packers cover this week, or do you think the magic carpet ride ends here?
I mean, it probably ends. I wasn't optimistic last week either, though, but I think a lot of like the hand in the dirt football people that are way smarter than me saw a lot of issues with how Dallas was playing defense, right? They had so many defensive backs.
Well, LaFleur owned them, right? They came out in dime and they wouldn't switch, and then he just he's like, all right, we'll just play 12, and then the Dallas didn't do anything.
Right, and that's not going to happen this week. So he's talented. Jordan Love's talented. The issue now becomes from a fantasy perspective. Their wide receivers are it's kind of pin the tail on the donkey on who's going to hit wide receiver wise. If AJ Dillon's back, that's terrible overall for the team in general, but fantasy wise, it sucks too. Although I think they're smart enough now to still keep Aaron Jones in like a really strong workload. So I don't think we'll lose too much from that. But yeah, I just think it's harder to mine fantasy value now. Tight ends kind of bogged down too if Musgrave starts to see a bigger and bigger role. So they're just hard to figure out fantasy wise, I think now.
Well, I think it's really been influenced by injuries. I think if everyone's fully healthy, it's probably Wicks, Watson. No. Well, I guess it comes
Reed's
down
the slot guy.
It comes down.
I think Watson stays a back seat, honestly.
Yeah, because Wicks has been so good.
He's unusable.
Yeah.
You think Wicks is the alpha next year?
It'll be Wicks, Dobbs,
Reed
for this game. I don't know about next year. For this game, it'll be Wicks, Dobbs starting outside or the starting in 2 receiver sets. Reed in slot, then they'll mix in Watson and Melton. But with Watson getting healthier and healthier, you do have to wonder how much he cuts into Wicks.
Do you think people will go back to Reed, or they'll be too spooked off, or is this like new era DFS where people have no problem going back?
It's new era DFS. Yeah,
I could see them being a little spooked off, just because. So I think the casual will be like, he barely played last week, and not really attribute it to just being that they played so much 12.
So you're also getting you're also playing against San Francisco, right? That in and of itself is enough to get you like not really wanting to play too many Houston or Green Bay guys.
I think
it's more of a question on the 2-game slate, I think, than the 4-gamer.
No, I think you might be interested in Green Bay guys because there is salary relief there. We've got Reed at 5,200, Wicks at 49, Watson at 42, Kraft is 31. And if Dillon doesn't play, even as a 10-point dog, Aaron Jones is going to project really well. He's going to project better than Gibbs, Pacheco, and Cook, probably. Not that
you could throw in the tight ends too.
Yeah. Like, so that is why you would be interested in playing them. Because, for example, look at the other value wide receivers. It's like Robert Woods, Odell Beckham. Sure.
Reynolds is going to be the chalk, right? He's 3.7.
I don't know.
He's 3.7K.
Didn't Jamison Williams outsnap him?
He's cheap too.
Yeah.
He's 3.6.
Well, the other big rub for Reynolds is Raymond going to be back? Because that's his other kind of deep threat competition.
Who caught the for this is Green Bay showdown only. Who caught the notes there for if AJ Dillon's out?
Emmanuel Wilson actually played more than Patrick Taylor. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Which I thought was strange. Tuttle, you know what was on TV this morning at the gym on the NFL Network? You know what Packers game was on?
Was it the 49ers?
The divisional round against the Arizona Cardinals, 101 receiving yards and a touchdown, one drive. Jeff Janis, 7 catches, 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Shout out Aaron Rodgers for chasing him out of the league, bud. Good job. Rodgers, you're smarter than everyone.
Davis, did you just drop the hex bar and then just go stare at the TV the rest of the workout?
I honestly,
that was like the beginning of your brand kind of taking off. The Janis game.
What if Rodgers never had Devontae?
It's a great, it would have been the Kurt Warner career probably, where you have like the crazy run, then you have the fallow period, and then they probably would have,
he did fine before Devontae, right?
I'm a terrible Packer fan. I don't know I don't know the eras. I don't know how long Jordy Nelson lasted. James.
So
Jones,
Jordy Nelson would have been 2008 to 2016, and then he kind of started to stink.
Yeah.
But that was also Cobb was really good. They would have a different veteran tight end every year who was all right back then.
Marcellus Bennett,
Mercedes Lewis.
I'm thinking more like Jared Cook was a Packer. Jimmy Graham was a Packer.
Yeah.
James Jones had 16 touchdowns on 84
so we've talked about
1 year.
We've talked about one quarterback so far.
Honestly, the team by team, I was kind of going to say that the team by team thing might be the route to go here.
Sure.
It kind of goes against the ethos, though, of the Swolecast.
What is the ethos?
Yeah, Dave, define the ethos.
Yes, we've got one thing working for us, and that is we go position by position here. We don't go game by game. We don't go team by team. We go position by position.
Huddle's the new alpha of the show, and he wants to go.
Dave, I'm talking here. We're going team by team today.
We're going team by team.
I do have a hard out. In 30 minutes.
You can leave.
Take forever.
You can leave, buddy. Me and Tuttle could just sit here and talk fucking ball for 2 hours.
I'm just it's team by team. What are we? The Silva, the new Silva and Levitan.
All right, I would rank the quarterbacks.
Some would say, yeah.
I would rank the quarterbacks in a combination of ownership and projected points as follows. I would go Lamar first, Allen second, Purdy third, Mahomes fourth.
Where's Baker?
Mayfield, Goff, Love, Baker. Baker would be
my hot take is Mahomes should be last.
Ooh,
I don't have. I got no issue
because you got the other pocket passers in better game environments or better team totals. You get the rushers in Lamar and Josh Allen, and then you get the contrarian guys who are going to have to chuck in Jordan Love, CJ Stroud. What does Patrick Mahomes do for us anymore?
He runs a little bit more in the playoffs. That's really about it, I guess.
Do you guys see how angry JJ Watt was that PFF had Jordan Love with a higher rating than CJ Stroud, despite the exact same stats this past weekend? Watt was mad. He was big time mad.
missed that. But Baker being dead last against Detroit. Are you worried about this weather, Davis?
No, I'm not worried about the weather. I guess it's more just I don't know, maybe that's wrong. Honestly, maybe I am just wrong. I just was not thinking
that's
of
not what the Sims are going to say. I'll tell you that much right now.
You think the Sims are? I think won't the Sims just like Goff more?
Who has the pace of play stuff in front of them?
The Sims like Goff.
Yeah.
Isn't Tampa Bay Detroit like have a chance at being like the sneaky ugly game here?
Well, yeah, because both teams prefer to run. So the Lions do play fast. They have the second most plays run in the NFL. The Buccaneers play super slow. The Buccaneers ran fewer plays than very slow teams like the Jets, the Packers, the Giants, so on and so forth. But a huge part of the Lions running all those plays is that they run. They are one of the most you think of like, oh, Goff and Ben Johnson, whatever, but they're actually right about league average in terms of pass rate over expected. And Goff was just obviously he was so efficient last week that we're like, oh, Goff, dude, he completed 100% of his passes when he wasn't pressured last week against the Los Angeles Rams. But he's gonna get blitzed like bad this week. That's kind of like what the Buccaneers do. And I don't know, call me crazy, but I am just ready for like a Jared Goff like duck like turns into a duck game, because that's like the entire history of Jared Goff is that the second you start to just give yourself over to Jared Goff, he fucks you so good.
Oh, gosh.
It's like I agree with that take, but it's like I mean either Baker or Goff going to San Francisco is just going to be a miserable game. I mean, just they're going to get the living shit kicked out of them.
How easy is the road to the Super Bowl for the frickin' 49ers, dude? They get to play the Packers at home, and then they get to play one of Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield.
No, you never know. We just don't know. Like we thought, we thought 8 weeks ago that the Eagles were just going to waltz in and play the 49ers to see who goes to the Super Bowl. Look what happened to them. Then we thought, oh, it's going to be Dallas. Look what happened to them. This is playoffs. I
don't think
Davis.
Anyone really thought Dallas.
This is the playoffs. We do not. It's not a given that the 49ers are just going to waltz in to the Super Bowl.
I will say if you do the point spread parlay for the Ravens and the 49ers, it pays like 3-1. I don't hate it.
All right.
Say that the point spread, you're saying just taking both of them to cover the spread.
You just parlay both the minus 9.5s.
Yeah.
If you're a real fish, you can buy it down to a touchdown and get it at even money. I won't do that, but some people will.
Have any of you guys ever done a teaser in your life?
Yes.
I did do one because I was just so sick of people talking about it. Like, oh dude, gosh. You don't do teasers, bro? Like teasers?
Dan,
I was doing teasers on Bo Dog back in the day.
Dan bought to start the season.
Just like pushing him on his podcast all the time.
Dan, to start the season, started doing them, and then it was like he had found the fountain of youth, the money printing machine, everything. This rare unicorn. So he would post in like a little group chat that we had, look at this week's teaser, all I need, and then would hit it like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Well, then he like got a little bit I think it was like, well, he didn't take as many points
problem
on
with
the
every
teaser.
The problem with every teaser is that you look at it and you're like, there's no way this loses.
There's no way.
There's no way Washington State loses by can't cover plus 14.5, and then like you lose because it's sports gambling.
So basically, though, after all this, he lost 2 weeks in a row.
Give it all back.
So the fountain of youth turned into be like minus EV for him. But yeah, teasers are fun. Let's talk about the slate, though. Let's go ahead and build a lineup because honestly, the running back, if we still have a lot of salary to play with, and that's Davis. That's kind of what I was mentioning. Baker, like, I'm surprised he was last because he's one of the cheap quarterbacks. And if you play any decent running backs, it's tough to really.
Well, that's why I was talking about the 49er or the Green Bay guys. The other thing is,
or the Detroit guys.
Well, if Kansas City Buffalo does actually turn into a classic, you've got every Kansas City pass catcher is free. Shakir is 3,800. Knox is 3,000. We'll see.
Free might still be too expensive for the Chiefs pass catchers.
It might be. I mean, Trey Palmer, if he wakes up pissed off, he is 3,500. Everyone's favorite playoff best ball pick, Juwan Jennings, is 3,600. I mean, if Juwan Jennings gets like 13.5 fantasy points this week, it's going to be like the biggest swing in all of these playoff best ball contests.
I can't wait to see if you guys take Christian McCaffrey in this lineup. You know what, Tuttle, since you had your tweet stolen, we're going to let you go again first.
I mean, I feel like you're trying to get me to play Trey Palmer here, but I think my take is he's going to tweet he's pissed off and it's going to be a red herring. Like it's just
yeah, I love it. I love Sosa. Can you tweet that out from the Swolecast account that Dan just gave that alpha away?
No,
predicting he's going to wake up pissed off.
You know, the thing is like Tuttle will be appropriately skeptical of it, and Gator's coming in with the retweet. He's pissed off again. CC at NFL.
There are gonna be so many people. Yeah, I'm excited to see it happen. I'm gonna take the C-Mac chalk to start.
No, come on. Can we do anything but this?
No. This is a good exercise, Davis, because a lot of people that are tuning in for this, they have the exact same question that we're going to be having building this line.
How do you make it work?
How do you make it work?
Alphas make it work.
I mean, right. I don't care about that. It's just that I wanted to click Debo before Peter clicked Ayuk.
All right, Davis.
A race to the bottom.
Yeah. No, race to the bottom. Race to the bottom is the guy clicking Ayuk, buddy.
Get out of here.
Okay, Davis, do you want to go?
Ayuk's been dusting Debo in the past few weeks, and you've been eerily silent on the issue.
Is that even? I feel like that's
not
true. Come on, that can't be true.
Go check the last 2 weeks.
We can 49ers onslaught this, honestly.
9 and 18 for Debo. No, okay, fair enough. 20 and 27 for Ayuk.
Yeah,
good for you. Week 17, Ayuk. What if that's you need? All right, I will select Debo Samuel.
That's the most Davis moment ever. Like listing off the stats of a guy outperforming him. And with that being said, Debo Samuel.
This is going to turn into like a 2 tight end build.
So Debo is going to be low owned, right? Like, look at that price tag.
Yeah. Debo will be.
With Amon-Ra being $500 more.
He's 700 more than Stephon Diggs. He's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be 3%. And also, I need all the chat to know this. Yeah, sure. Maybe in your little precious 2-week sample, Ayuk has been better. Debo scored more points straight up. Debo's way better.
Well,
Davis,
we're playing a 1-game
I'm
slate.
fully on board with.
All right, I don't love that. I need you to be an Ayuk, bro. I need you to be an Ayuk, bro.
No, I'm on board with you.
Snow cream, Debo.
I'm on board with you saying basically we just don't know. Joe King says here's the logical thing. ...
No, we do know. We know that Debo has the highest single game ceiling of like any non CMC player.
Serious question though, would you put Debo in his ceiling though? Like we know his ceiling's probably going to cost Christian McCaffrey something.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I didn't really want to play them together.
Yeah, this is more of a spy type of lineup than a milli maker.
Yeah.
What about the 5K challenge, DoorDash and Clay Matthews Sunday Football Series, which is still miraculously going?
Also, yes.
It's perfect for
also,
that.
Yes.
Perfect for that.
All right, put Jaden Reed in.
We're not gonna have any salary.
Game stack, baby.
So, do we want to go with Purdy just to kind of see what this?
Stop asking questions. Be an alpha and make a pick, Kitchen.
Yeah,
you don't need our approval. We'll hate it no matter what.
Let's go with Purdy.
I was thinking we could try to get the rushing touchdowns, but whatever.
What, you're going with Purdy instead of Baker, brother? I thought we loved Baker here.
All right, let's go Baker. Let's go Baker.
It's whoever gets into Kitchen's ears last. That's the pick.
I already liked Baker. And plus, Davis putting him at last is going to motivate him even more. So, all right. Tuttle?
Let us go.
We have no salary to work.
Oh, you know what I want to do just to screw everybody up? We're going to go Mike Evans here, I think.
Where are you getting this money?
You got to figure it out. You guys have the last 3 picks. You guys got to figure it out.
Kitchen goes, we have no money. And Tuttle says, let me play the second most expensive for dating guy.
I can help us figure it out. I'm going to select Justice Hill, who the last time we saw him scored 22 DraftKings points.
Okay.
Put in Buccaneers defense.
This isn't even hard. I thought it would be harder based on your reactions.
No, Chiefs defense.
Dude, we need to go down.
It's Chiefs or Bills?
I think we already have
Chiefs.
Yeah, you guys got plenty of room to work with here.
Chiefs Knox. We could play Palmer. Is he going to wake up pissed off?
Put in Cade. If we're doing Baker, double stack with the tight end.
Cade led them in targets last week.
Yeah.
35% target share.
And then we play Keith Mitchell and hope he comes back from IR.
No, you can't.
There's plenty of guys.
Justice Hill and Keith Mitchell.
Kitchen. He's not.
You got Kitchens Reynolds if you want the bring back. You got Shakir.
Reynolds
Reynolds is goated.
Yeah.
This is easy. You guys made it sound like this was going to be tough to squeeze all this.
All right, then let's get up to Bills D. No one actually wants to play Chiefs D.
This is the best defense left in the playoffs, brother.
Get out of here. On the road.
You could do. You could also.
It's like, is Liam in your ear? Why are you so?
David, you opened up the show saying, "I'm so scared about the game this weekend."
I mean, it's the first true road playoff game of Pat Mahomes' career.
Wrong Reynolds.
Sosa.
Not Craig Reynolds, man.
You got the wrong Reynolds.
Reynolds is more on brand.
I'm playing.
That
reminds me of a Craig Reynolds for the bit.
Yeah,
that reminds me of Davis back in the day putting the wrong player with the last name in the flex.
It was a wrong Cortez, I think, some pitcher. I played the wrong starting pitcher.
It was Javi Guerra.
Javi Guerra.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's 2 Javi Guerras, I think.
Yeah. In my lineup, I'm playing Shakir Chiefs defense. So
in my lineup, I'm playing Patrick Laird. 4K. Let's fucking go.
In my lineup, I'm going down to Bucks defense, and then I'm playing Christian Watson for the game stack. Bring back.
Such a fish play.
No, I actually think Dave, that might be good.
Thank you.
Christian Watson is just the poster boy of wish casting.
You say
but
that,
he does just enough though. That's the thing though, is he does
have a high ceiling. Like all these Green Bay receivers have high ceilings, but we've seen his high ceiling this year.
Christian Watson is fancy Gabe Davis, and that might be generous.
No, Christian Watson is much better than Gabe Davis.
Let's talk about running backs. And the Christian McCaffrey just basically conundrum that we just solved with Justice Hill. But is that going to be enough? Like, if you don't use Justice Hill, who are you using?
Justice Hill is going to score like 6 points here majority of the time. So he's probably not a particularly strong play. The thing with McCaffrey is that actually the leverage that you gain with him in a short slate is sort of bizarre, because unless he goes like giga nuke, it might be more about the combos that he costs you, because the value options are, as we just went through with, they're not that great, right? It's like Trey Palmer, Khalil Shakir, pin the tail on a shitty Chiefs wide receiver who's going to pull up and not catch whatever deep pass Patrick Mahomes perfectly puts in their path. 2 tight end lineups, Buccaneers defense, like it's not that great. So he's got to get like I mean, what he's got to clear 31, 32 probably a lot of the time to be optimal. It's a tough ask.
Pete,
what's the question?
You working on your?
No, I just didn't. There was no question. I mean, you and Davis had a conversation, then you just said.
I didn't have a conversation. It's just Davis talking for a really long time. But we were talking
a really long time. A really long time.
Justice Hill.
So I'm scared because I'm on this take with Davis. My hot take is Justice Hill is our generation's playoff Lenny, our generation's playoff Jerick McKinnon. I think he's the guy that like turns into a near feature back after not getting that kind of usage for most of the regular season.
The issue is we want it in a different spot, right? Not 9.5 point home favorites.
Like I think you might be right, Peter, but it might not be this game. It might be the next game. It might be the Super Bowl that
and also, this is the first game of the 4-game slate. It's going to be miserable if you are just stuck with like a 2 or 3. And
buddy, I was stuck. I had a lot of -1 points from the Browns defense, 1.4 points from Richie James. Like, we found a way to persevere. It's fine.
No, I mean, I think that's the take you want. You just want it to be. You want him to be if that's your take, you want him to be not involved at all this week. And then when they play KC or Buffalo, he's like the guy. And then you can absolutely smash it then.
Who are you scared of fading amongst these running backs? We got like in this 6K range, Jones, Gibbs, Rachaad White, Pacheco, James Cook, David Montgomery. Like, who are you scared of fading? That will just maybe go off.
Probably Gibbs, right?
Gibbs could scare you.
I
do like James Cook's a tricky one, right? Where it's like his range is so wide where like the fade could make you look like a genius, or they could just give him 30 touches like they did a month or so ago.
I mean, he's averaging over 19 touches per game and under 10 fantasy points. The last month,
they have the tush push now to the left, whatever that's called, and another goal line back. Like, he's just like you're gonna have to get a lot of splash plays for him for it to really go off.
Was the Ty Johnson run at the end of the game just like this game? We got this game type of thing. I was at a youth basketball practice.
Everyone had that as a sharp under. It got blown up.
Yeah. So I mean, if you exclude that last drive or the last 2 drives, I mean, Cook was the guy.
Yeah,
out there. Very good workload. I saw some comments about how like there's no good running backs behind CMC. I actually think the second tier is pretty solid.
Yeah, they're all good. Gibbs, Cook, Pacheco,
a lot of his
Rachaad.
Game script dependent. Like, I was thinking, if you make a Detroit stack, which is really easy to do with some of these cheap receivers, and you think they're going to get out in front, then like Rachaad White's going to be an easy bring back. But if they are leading like they were against Philly, he's going to get under.
What's the Buccaneers Lions spread, you think?
4.5, 5.5,
6.5, but I guess close enough. I mean, I actually think the Buccaneers side of that is probably pretty good, but I do think that that spread will lead to White being a little bit underowned relatively. So I did just do a quick little sim run.
Yeah.
And Christian McCaffrey, pretty surprisingly for a 4-game slate, under 40% optimal probability in my first run, which I think is really just about salary than anything else. And Cook, number 2 optimal probability, Aaron Jones, number 3, Pacheco, number 4. You got to get pretty far down to get to our boy Justice Hill at sub 10%. And I won't debase myself by playing David Montgomery, even though it feels like Leon. I was going to say
you could do the ownership thing there for sure. I think throw a little Montgomery and Detroit D correlation and get them both at pretty low ownership.
Yeah,
the real deep pull that I kind of wanted to pull as the terrible take, but you cannot do this on a 4-game slate. This is like a showdown or a 2-game slate, and you do it salary only. Wisconsin boy, Dare. Dare Wally, baby.
I thought you were gonna say like Eli Mitchell or something. You
no, he was in there. He was in as the passing down back. Pierce was not getting any run. I think Pierce got like 6 snaps when it was all said and done. Dare didn't play a lot, but it did look like he was going to be the guy that they would use like if down big and they were just running hurry up type of stuff. And again, you can't pull something out of your ass like that for the 4-game slate. Like running back's just too loaded. But for you showdown guys and even the 2-game slate, I think you could maybe pull it off if you think Hill's not going to be heavily involved.
Aren't you worried that Patrick Laird will take over those duties from Dare?
Laird.
He was called up from the practice squad last week. He was active.
He was active and he played how many snaps?
Trust the process, bud.
Yeah.
It's about what he does for the other things you can do with your lineup. That's always been the thesis.
I'm looking at the
okay. You guys got me all thrown off. I thought I'm not the NFL guy. You guys had me wondering here. Dare does not play for the Bucs, you guys. Patrick Laird Dare plays for the Houston Texans.
Oh my God, you're right.
You're right.
I
just conceded to you guys because you guys are the NFL bros. I'm sitting here doing like college football, League of Legends shit.
No,
you
but
guys aren't keeping
the
up
point
with
still
roster
stands.
updates.
Laird is the same play as Dare at a fraction of the ownership.
But Chase Edmonds is the pass catching back.
Chase Edmonds is the Dare.
Yeah, Edmonds is maybe the guy you were thinking about. What the heck?
Oh my God! I actually should.
I'm putting Australian Open projections up. Oh, you guys are just miserable.
Damian Pierce is the Chase Edmonds. Dare and Patrick Laird are the comparables.
You could talk me into you could talk me into Damian Pierce because it's just like we see Devin Singletary just get 0.3 yards running into the ass of the offensive lineman, and then they're like, you know what, we just got to have someone who can actually move. Damian, why don't you try?
See, no, you guys are gonna like this take more once you come around to what the correct team Dare is.
I'm really
you'll see it as big time underdogs, as the pass catching back.
I like it. I like it more now that I do know the actual team that he's on. That is correct.
How's Dare ever going to get on the field when they have CMC and Eli Mitchell? That's my question.
But isn't that your boy Jordan Mason that you played in catch?
Are you telling me they're gonna bench Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Dare, dude? There's no way.
They've been looking for a spark, man.
All right, let's move on to receiver because I've been running the Sims here on Sim Labs, and it doesn't matter if I'm large field, single entry, small field contest. It's got Amon-Ra head and shoulders above everybody else. The Sims just love Amon-Ra. How
so do the
important
humans.
is he? Yeah. Yes. How important is he to your lineups, Davis?
I think there are paths you can win without him, actually. I mean, his optimal probability is like crazy high, but for example, feels like Nico is like a real differential, like very simple, like obviously much lower floor, probably significantly lower median. I don't even have median projections pulled up. That's how deep in the Sims I am. All I have is optimal probabilities. I don't even have median projections these days. But and to answer Dylan Corditz, yeah, we all just jerk off to the Sims. That's all DFS is now. It's just
I don't. You don't. Is it a part of my process? Yes. Is it the only thing I look at? No.
Kitchen, if you didn't have to promote it as part of the Roto Grinders umbrella products, would you ever look at Sims?
100% yes.
No chance.
Yes.
None. David,
you don't understand?
Maybe
you don't understand
click
that the Sim
Optimize.
Labs. Yeah, the Sim Labs product is for me, like because it just throws out all sorts of stuff that when I usually think of things, it's like I've been playing DFS for so long. It's what would be the highest projected points, which still has some sort of value, but the Sims taking all the elements of contest.
But then we see your cash game lineup last week, and it didn't have anything to do with projected points or sim rates. So
yeah, that has also bit equity tied in. Like Derrick Henry, that was an ode to the man who had done so much for me, both professionally and personally. So,
what did he do for you personally?
He gave me excitement as a Titans fan.
Okay.
Nothing to do.
What did he do for you professionally?
My brand.
He built his whole brand off of D. Hember and Ryan Tannehill.
Thank you.
When Derrick Henry is a Dallas Cowboy, what is that going to do for you personally?
I wish nothing but the best for Derrick Henry. I love him. I hope he wins the Super Bowl. I don't care what team it's with.
All right, it's your favorite medium to expensive wide receiver whose name is not Amon-Ra St. Brown is Hoomst, Peter.
Probably Mike Evans.
Yeah, I guess that's probably.
Not worried about those couple drops he had.
I mean, it was brutal. But no, I'm not worried about it.
What about Rashee Rice? I can't tell if I'm being a homer or not with Rashee. Correct me if I'm wrong. He doesn't look that good. Like when you're like, it's like he's fine. He's doing a good, competent job as an NFL wide receiver. But I think it's more that he's just not fucking up every chance he gets.
It's because he plays alongside, MVS, Travis Kelce, like all these guys that make him look really good.
Yeah. Yeah, you watch Travis Kelce drop his fourth consecutive pass on one drive, and then it feels like a borderline miracle that when Pat throws him the ball, he actually just catches it.
I think Rashee's good.
Pete, the chat is noting something, which is obviously that you should have just said Brandon Ayuk as your favorite wide receiver play. You're losing your fastball, bud.
I want to play CMC, and it's just really hard to fit those two guys in the lineup together if you're not willing to play Dare.
My favorite is, I would say Debo 1, Rice 2. I think Flowers is going to fall like completely unowned. Like no one, like
Davis, you can't put Debo 1. He should not be almost 1K more expensive than Ayuk. That's crazy.
He's such a bad play that it's a good play.
He might legit Pete, you might turn over the cards in the spy. He might be like 2% owned straight up.
Here's the connection the connection Davis hasn't made yet. He made the argument that CMC you need 35 from until you're buried. And Debo is only 1,000 cheaper or not even.
Debo's median projection. Debo's median projection any given slate to me is 35, though. That's the connection that you have not made.
Where do we subscribe to get your projections again?
Nowhere. They're gone. They're gone, baby.
They're up here.
I projected Debo for 29 too many weeks in a row. I got fired.
But when you put it into that lens, like he does have to get 30 plus at 7,700.
He has to be probably the highest scoring wide receiver. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. You could put it that way too.
But his chances of outscoring Amon-Ra St. Brown, not even going to be close to captured in the discrepancy of how they are. Like not even close.
All right, favorite wide receiver sub 4K.
Shakir is free 11 points with upside for more.
Yeah. It's Shakir, then it's Detroit guys.
That TD he had in the highlight is going to mega boost his ownership this week.
All right,
everyone was talking about that one.
Any other receiver, like cheap receivers? Josh Reynolds, I think, head and shoulders above everybody else. Anybody else? I'm
gonna flag plant Dontavian Wicks. I think he gets 15 here, and I'm also not worried about the Jaden Reed FUD. I think you could do worse things than just play one Packers pass catcher, any of their 7 guys. Probably maybe not Melton. Melton probably loses the most with Watson coming back to full health, but also Jaden Reed and Wicks both have these freaking chest injuries, which is like a weird injury for a receiver to get. It feels like, what has happened is that they both played through the injury and then had to sit out, getting re-injured mid-game. But Wicks.
All right. Tuttle, now might be a time for your terrible take.
Oh, I've already hit my terrible take with Dara.
Oh, you did?
But only on a 2-gamer or showdown.
You said snow cream is bad.
Just thought of it's disgusting. Right. I guess I do have one that nobody's mentioned. I don't know if I want to mention it now, though.
Don't hide the alpha. Otherwise, someone's gonna steal it.
Dude, I'll just ask.
I'm more worried that this just came now to my mind as I was like perusing, and I want to make sure like this guy's actually on an active roster and not injured and actually playing snaps. And I think he's doing all those things. Rashad Bateman.
Now you're speaking our love language.
Yeah, the issue is there. The ball knowers think that there's a chance that now that they're in the playoffs, they might just go Odell Beckham 100% route share. Like he just doesn't leave. There's nothing to keep him healthy for.
Well, isn't the big domino for Bateman probably is if Andrews plays, right? Like
so it's both. It's both things. So it's Andrews.
Was about to say, if Andrews plays, then
I'm not getting
first of all, like
Bateman take too much.
First of all, if Andrews plays, do you play him? He's 5K.
Yes. And if you don't play him, and if he doesn't play, you play likely because everyone's tout content will be done by Friday, and we won't know if Andrews is in or out by then. So the phone shitters are not going to know what to do.
Seems like a great time to...
Go ahead, Pete. I didn't have much of substance to say. Is more upon like what the thing to me here is like we've known from last year that Likely's good. Like we know he's good, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't the first 9 weeks of the season or whatever when both were healthy, they didn't play it a bunch of 2 tight end sets.
No,
like Likely was not. I'm looking at week 8 here. Likely was on the field for 7 snaps. Week 7. He ran 13 routes out of 36 dropbacks. Like they didn't play it that way. Do they change that now?
Greg Roman's base system is not a 2 tight end system, or not Greg Roman. Todd Monken. That's not. And that was something we kind of knew coming into the season.
Right.
Was he prefers to spread the guys out as much as possible. So I actually think you're kind of hitting on an astute point, Tuttle, which is that the market might assume, Likely's been so good. The Ravens have in the past played a lot of 12, but I actually think it's more likely that we get a lot of Aguilar, Beckham, Bateman type stuff.
Yeah. Producer Sosa mentions I do have a hard out that was 4
Yeah,
minutes
Dave,
ago
you can go, dude. We got this.
I want to know before I sign off tight ends, because the tight ends, if Andrews is back, you got Kelsey, Andrews, Kittle. We just mentioned Otten. Like, what are we doing at tight end? Schultze. Like, is there even a
Dawson Knox, man?
Oh, Kincaid.
Yeah,
Kincaid is just $4,800 Dawson Knox.
I feel like if you're not playing CMC, if you're not playing Debo, if you're not playing Brandon Ayuk, you better goddamn have George Kittle.
Better be playing George Kittle. Yeah. Pete, aren't you worried he's got a heel injury, brother?
I didn't even know that, but then again, I didn't know.
I only know that. I only know that from doing mitten returns drafts, and when you click on George Kittle, the little blurb is that he's healing.
Davis, how did your? This is what the people really want to know. How did your playoff best ball portfolio advance? I mean, not in actual advanced teams. No one cares about the DAC stuff, but you got any ones cooking?
I haven't looked.
Wow.
That means it's either really bad or really good.
Looked at how your teams are doing.
Well, I've got too many teams to go through and check individually.
Wow.
I'm going to assume it went relatively poorly from an expected value moving forward perspective because the Browns lost, the Rams lost, and the Cowboys lost, and I was overweight on those teams relative to the teams that beat them. Had the Rams won, I probably would say I'm going to be the champion because I am so overweight on Chiefs, Ravens, and 49ers players relative to the field. Like I had 42% Brock Purdy because I was taking Purdy third overall the whole time. So, I mean, you know, we'll say I was overweight Ferguson, so maybe I've got like some 5-man Raven stacks that snuck through or something.
All right, rank top 3 tight ends this week.
Cost, price,
Davis,
popularity adjusted, or in a vacuum?
Kittle, Laporta, Kincaid, Kelsey, Kraft.
Okay, there's your top 3 for Davis. Pete?
Kittle, Laporta, Otten.
Okay. Tuttle?
Otten, Kittle, Kelsey.
Yes, surprise.
I'm waiting for the throwback Kelsey game.
If you, I was gonna say, if you believe in Taylor Swift's boyfriend, this might be like a legitimate generational buying opportunity. Because if I don't believe, if the man who came in wearing the Chiefs sweatshirt is like, I'd rather play Dawson Knox, then you know it's like generational buying time.
It's the cost adjusted thing that is the.
Can we get this man some opiates? Just for like 3 days. He looks like the freaking Tin Man out there. Maybe I guess so. This is a Bill Simmons point. But you know, you want to fade old guys when it's crazy cold outside, because think about you're at family Christmas or whatever. Who goes out and wants to play football in the snow? Who wants to go shovel the driveway?
Buddy, I've just been sledding.
Ice cream.
Yeah, I've just been sledding outside.
I'm just saying, like maybe 34-year-old Travis Kelce had a hard time getting it up in negative 35-degree weather, but he'll be fine if it's decent this week. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Final thoughts. First from our X thought leader, X as in the platform X, Mr. Turtle 05.
Dare on the 2-gamer. I'm sticking with it. Hope he gets you 5+, and that salary matters, and you're good to go.
I think this is what we call a heat check. Davis,
I hit both. I hit both terrible takes last week. So,
Davis,
good for you. You know, just pray for Patrick Mahomes the very first time he's ever playing a road playoff game. Just send all your good vibes. Do you guys really want to live in a world where Liam is not only the champion of Best Ball Mania, but the Bills also won a Super Bowl? Is that really what you want? You really want to live in that universe? Think about it.
I kind of do. Pete.
Yeah. 2 thoughts.
Yeah.
If you are stacking up or kind of like onslaughting the Niners, definitely think about bringing it back with Dare.
Yeah.
And 2, send me a head-to-head FF Gator. Send me a 109, bud.
Is he?
Thank you for.
Is he on the list? Like as far as
public
enemies or rivals of the Swolecast? It's
he is now. He follows me on Twitter too. Yeah.
Who's Davis's guy?
Rick Road?
Rick Road.
The guy you blocked. Yeah, Jacob. Rick Road. Yeah.
That guy doesn't exist.
Clutch
He's a
Fantasy
shoe salesman with 9,000 Twitter followers.
The FF Gator. Clutch Fantasy and the FF Gator have been you've been notified. All right.
Hey guys, I actually want to give FF Gator a chance to get back in our good graces. Yeah. Change the pin from the viral tweet to the apology tweet, and you all will be forgiven. Pin the apology.
Pin the apology.
Everyone in the comments, #pin the apology.
#pin the apology.
All right. I will go ahead and just say that appreciate everyone tuning in. This show is a little bit like snow cream. You know, stuff has to happen, but then you take it all this stuff, you combine it, and what comes out of it? Just something magical.
And then you get sick from it.
Stop.
You have to go throw up.
Use the clean snow, not the yellow snow. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Sosa for producing. We'll see you next week here on the Swolecast from RotoGrinders.com. Peace.